Good day. Are you there, Rob?
I'm here. How are you guys?
I'm good, but you're just not on camera. Is that it?
I don't know what happened. There we are.
There. I think we liked you better the other way. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to episode 698.
That was for you, Case.
The show that keeps on going. We are going to number one like a bullet, baby. So welcome to the USDJN podcast. Which one is this? Episode what?
We're episode 7 right now.
It's like an old hat for us.
It's hard to believe that we've been on for almost two months now.
Yep. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
If you're first finding us, thank you so much. Do us a favor. If you're on YouTube, smash that button and give us a like. Okay. If you're catching us randomly on something else, make sure you like our social network all over Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that good stuff. I'm going to do the housekeeping, and then I'm going to turn it over to my two gentlemen here, Rob, who is our Postmaster extraordinaire, and then today's guest, the one and only Mr. Chad Blackburn, Mama K's favorite DJ with the shirt off. So that's that. So a couple of good things. If you are in the Chicagoland area and you're watching us, you don't want to miss it, because tomorrow we have legendary DJ Q-Bert coming to the Chicago DJ meetup at Adobe Gillis from 6 until 9. And we have not one but two brand new products that you've probably never seen anywhere. I know you haven't seen them in Chicago. It is the Reloop turntables, the 7-inch turntables. I think it's called the RP7s or RP8s, RP7s, yeah.
Yep.
And then we also have the brand new 4,000 watt aside Bass Boss column array. We're seeing them before Sweetwater, before Gear Club Direct, before AV Max, before I bet NLFX hasn't even seen them. We are very blessed. Samia is flying in personally to oversee our event tomorrow. And so it's going to be a fantastic evening, 6 to 9. Then next week, we're going to be in Milwaukee. That's right. That team that just lost to the Dodgers in the playoffs.
Go Pack Go.
So you just turned yourself off. Okay. That or it's a defective thing. It's a defunct thing since you said it to two Bears fans. So we're going to be in Milwaukee next week, Tuesday at the Blizzard headquarters. So you'll get a tour of Blizzard. You'll get to see their cool new lights, all their new stuff, their LED walls, everything. And then JBL is going to be there. Also, we've got some representatives from the Midwest DJs live show there. You'll learn about their show. Also, we just signed a contract for Marquee 2026. We're going to be back at the Hyatt in Schaumburg. Super excited about that. Then next month, I've got four different cities. We're going to actually technically 5 cities if we include Chicago. We're going to be in Chicago next month with programs still being finalized. We are going to be at Wedding NBA with a booth and a Wednesday morning breakfast meetup. We are going to be at IAPA in Orlando with an Orlando DJ meetup. That's turning out to be a great meeting. We have over 200 RSVP'd so far for our New Jersey DJ meetup, which is on the 25th. On the 24th, we are going to be in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh DJ meetup. So lots of great places. December, we're going to be walking the show floor at LDI. And then in January, we are going to be in Louisville and Louisville for sure. We're going to be at NAMM for sure. We are going to be at Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg. And then in February, we'll be at the MEX PBX show. And we are scheduling another meetup. We're going to be in Arizona. I'm actually going to finally, after 20 years of wanting to do it, I'm going to tie in an Arizona DJ meetup with a Cubs spring training game. So US DJing is on the road. We are everywhere DJs are. So check out usdjn.com for details. Tomorrow night, our insurance guy is going to be there chatting insurance with everybody as well. And we now also have a national financial advisor. His name is Chris Hemzacek. He will be at our event tomorrow too, and he can set up. He does my life insurance, and he can set up 401ks, everything else for retirement. So lots of really, really great stuff. Eventually, Chad will learn how to turn on his profile and not keep getting kicked off. So
I'm here.
I hope you're better at karaoke technology than you are at this. So that's that. So that was it. Other than that, it was a great weekend. I got to hang out with Mr. Mike Walter, was in Chicago. And so I got to do a little private DJ meetup with Mike Walter and Mars. Friday, I got to help out another DJ friend, Jasmine, with a beautiful Lux karaoke event. We are not karaoke, bar mitzvah event. We happened to be at right place, right time, and they need a little bit of help because of a car accident slowing them down. Not that they were in, but they were the victims of with traffic. So we were able to help load them into a beautiful event. And so, yeah, crazy busy weekend. How about you, Rob?
You know, it's a blur. I forgot where I was at, but I was somewhere.
Gotcha.
I was somewhere. Oh, actually, I was just at the Grove on Saturday and had a nighttime ceremony. And it was quite interesting and turned out to be rainy for the rest of the evening. So everybody was inside the pavilion outside, and midnight came around. We started to strike the equipment, realizing that our loading area was about 200 feet away. So nevertheless, I got soaked, but they did give me garbage bags to kind of cover up my equipment so I can get it to the van. But it was a pretty interesting day.
Gotcha. And Chad, did you work this weekend?
I did. I went from the San Diego Film Festival to a 600 person lawyer corporate event.
You were out at the march? Were you out at the march?
No, I wasn't at the march. I missed it. And then apple picking yesterday. So it's been a busy weekend. Yeah.
What size sound system do you bring out when you go apple picking?
I use my I got to go with my QSCs, the 12s for sure.
You want the KS 118s because they've got the base that'll just make the apples fall right off the tree.
That's what I bring them for.
There you go. So, all right. With that, guys, I will leave the two of you at it, mastering karaoke with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Chad Blackburn. Woo! Thanks, guys, and we will see you all next week. Actually, if you're in Chicago, we'll see you tomorrow. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Casey. See ya. So, welcome to episode 7 of the United States Disc Jockey Network podcast. I'm your host, Rob. And, today we're diving into a topic that can either make or break your midday week gigs. Also can boost your bar profits and straighten your connection with your audience. So we're talking about karaoke. And today we got Chad Blackburn. He's a master at karaoke, across the Midwest for his packed houses, smooth crowd control, ability to turn any ordinary Tuesday night into a standing room only show. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit about how to build up your karaoke setup from scratch, keeping singers engaged all night long, managing the workflow like a pro, and turn karaoke into a consistent and profitable part of your DJ business. So no pun intended. So let's grab the mic and warm up those vocal cords for Chad Blackburn. So thank you, Chad, for joining us today for episode number 7.
Yeah, my pleasure. Excited to be here and excited to answer any questions anyone has, or offer whatever knowledge that I've gained over these last almost 20 years of doing this thing.
Wow, 20 years. That's pretty impressive. So you've been doing this for 20 years. Wow, that's I got to ask, what's the ingredient to making a karaoke night truly successful?
So for us, honestly, ever since the beginning, what always made our shows different was just keeping the energy up. Whether it's playing music videos or reading the crowd, always reading the crowd, but just keeping that energy up. If you have a slow ballad, being able to mix into something a more upbeat, and just, if somebody takes the energy down in the room, just be able to bring it right back, mixing almost a little bit of a DJ with karaoke,
Okay.
like that kind of hybrid has always been the secret sauce for us.
That's cool. That's cool. So, I mean, a lot of karaoke bars here in Chicago don't do that. When I started doing karaoke about 20, 25 years ago, that's what we did. So I would actually mix music between singers because, if they weren't singing all night, right?
Yeah.
So, we play, 2, 3 song set and then go back into karaoke. And then eventually it just became an all karaoke night. Especially like when the booze starts flowing, towards the end of the night, right? Last hour, power hour is what we call it. But like in your case, like how do you keep your venues full every week? And like what really separates like a packed house from like a dead night?
So I think because we've been doing it for so long, I've always been about, marketing our brand, and having that brand work with what we're known for. And so, it's gotten easier, obviously a lot easier over the years. Back when we started, there was no wireless transmitters for HDMI, so you couldn't be on all these TVs at once. You
Mm-hmm.
were running long 100-foot HDMI cables with power linked into them, and just really struggling to get that, that full karaoke experience. But we did that from the beginning, and we keep it going now. It's just a lot easier, a lot simpler now. And I think that's synonymous with our brand. And that's when people see Almost Famous is at this location, that's kind of where they gravitate to, especially here in San Diego.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you mentioned you were running 100-foot cables to TV. So you also wanted not only just the singer to have their lyrics on their own personal monitor, but you also engaged the bar crowd or the club crowd so they could also see what the singers sing, correct? So they can kind of be like one big happy family singing, correct?
Yes, and I always took pride in my music videos as well.
Okay.
I've been an avid music video collector and purchaser since the beginning as well. I've always started with music videos, and I've
Okay.
always found fun clips, that would, even back in the day, stuff I would see on TV, or I would burn it onto, a DVD back in the day. And now
Mhm.
you could just go grab the clip from wherever. Like I said, it's getting easier. But be able to throw funny clips up, something that you saw. One of the first bars I started DJing at in San Diego, which I learned karaoke before I learned DJing, but it was a music video bar. And what they would do is they would take clips from like Cliffhanger. You'd have the iconic Cliffhanger scene where he's holding her hand and she's about to slip, and then as
Mhm.
she's slipping, we start playing Free Falling by Tom Petty,
That's
and
clever.
yeah, and they had this whole routine of these clips that go with songs that you would play throughout the night, on the weekend, for a club crowd. And so I kind of again brought that into my karaoke sets, and just kept people entertained, whether they're singing or they're just in there to root on their friends and watch music videos and funny little clips.
Yeah, that's cool. So you probably remember this back in June when you were here for the Marquee show. You remember we all got up there and we did
Hmm.
live band karaoke. And aside from your shirt coming off, but you really crushed it as a singer. Were you originally a singer, performer, then turned DJ, or DJ then turned performer? Or how tell me a little bit about your story.
To be honest with you, no, not at all. Still to this day, I get a lot of, now I've had years and years of practice, which, has helped out. I found my range. I found certain songs that I'm really good at. And that's helped out with choosing the right songs. I still don't consider myself a singer, even though I get a ton of compliments. I'll get
Mhm.
people requesting that I sing a certain song. I love doing Josh Turner, Your Man, because I could really drop down, do that deep, deep voice. And just people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you can get that low. And so, yeah, I wouldn't credit myself as a singer. I didn't get into this because I was a singer. In fact, the first time I ever sang karaoke, I got the microphone, I froze. And for the first probably few months, I had to put on sunglasses. Like the karaoke bar that I went to, they had props. That was kind of the host shtick, you know, as he
Oh,
brought in wigs and he brought in air guitars and
oh, that's something new.
sunglasses.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, yeah, and so you know, someone that's a little shy and not used to being in front of a crowd, they could throw on some sunglasses, then all of a sudden you feel a little, you know, a little disguised, and you could be come out of your shell a little bit. And so that was me back in the day, and it took a lot for me to realize that hey, I can do this thing and enjoy it and
Sure.
be confident in it.
Sure. No, that's killer. Wow. Actually, you just gave me a good tip here, Chad. So I'm going to start adding props to my
It's
karaoke repertoire.
it's fun. We should do it again. It's been a few years since we brought props out, but we had a bar that really encouraged it. And so we used to do it back in the day a lot, and it was so much fun. Those are some of our, and you get some great footage too, of just people,
Yeah.
you know, coming up. Even if they're not singing, they'll grab a blow up guitar and they'll put you know, a hat, a wig on or a hat and some
Sure.
sunglasses and just
Sure.
rock out. And they're
And you
not
know,
even the star of the show.
we actually have all these, Chad. I just never thought to cross use my props for the photo booth. So we have all these things already. So it's,
Exactly.
keep your inventory making money for you, I guess.
Yep, and it'll make you stand out, especially if you've never seen that before. Then
Sure.
boom, there you go. Now there's something to you know stand out. And when people go on Wednesday night, hey, we can go to Rob's show, or we
Yep.
can go to Mike's show, or
Sure.
Shannon's show. You know, they can be
Sure.
like, oh wait, but Rob has the fun props. You know,
Yeah,
let's go out to
yeah.
Rob's
You got
show.
the blow up guitars that you can rock out the solo to, Sweet Child of Mine or
Exactly.
something. Yeah, no, that's that, man. Wow, I'm writing that down. So let me ask you, when you walk into a new bar or a venue, like they just hired you, they said, "Hey, Chad, we want you to do, karaoke here." When you first walk into a bar, like what's one of the first things that you look at before you start setting up? Are you looking at logistics? Are you looking at where the TV placement's at? Where's your stage going to be? Like, how would you normally set something like that up?
So yeah, what we do is so I'll go in with the host, whoever's going to be hosting that night. 'Cause we have a team of about 20, and
Okay.
so when I figure out who's going to be hosting that spot, I'll go in, I'll have them come in, and then we'll just kind of assess the bar and just say, okay, the stage is over here. Where's the best place to run an wireless HDMI? You know, there's a TV across the bar. Let's go one into there. We'll go one into the TV facing the singer. And yeah, you just kind of get the layout. Obviously, if they have a stage, we love spots that have stages. Like that's our favorite, but
Yeah.
we don't always get so lucky. You know, we'll go into a bar that's just a little hole in the wall and they put us
Sure.
over in the corner, and we try to make the best of it. But I'll always try to pitch being closer to the door. That way, when people come in, they know exactly what they're walking into.
That's clever. So, let's talk a little bit about tech. This is what I've been wanting to ask you this for the last week and a half. I just had to constrain myself until today. What karaoke software, lighting, or sound gear do you personally use to karaoke? And what do you swear by? Like, what works for you guys?
So I'm still kind of old school when it comes to what I like and how I like to host. I'm not really training. I have trainers now that train our new people, and so I don't really necessarily have them train the way we used to do it. We're leaning more into virtual DJ now. Using virtual DJ just makes it a little bit I like to my way of hosting has always been I have the old version of virtual DJ, the 7, just
Mhm.
because that's what I learned on. That's what I liked, you know, running my music videos through before Serato got really into music videos. So I was able to do all my music videos and everything through virtual DJ while simultaneously running a program called Karma for karaoke.
Okay.
And then so basically I would turn my video off of virtual DJ and start bringing down the volume as I'm fading into the karaoke song so that it's always seamless. There's no dead air. It's almost like mixing, you know, you're mixing, but you're doing karaoke into or DJing into karaoke and then
Got
out
it.
of karaoke into DJing, which you can pretty much do that all in one program now, but back in the day it wasn't so easy.
Right. I started out with CDJs back in the day. I actually used to use a Pioneer CDJ 100 that had the video out, the coax, into this converter that would then change the signal to coax, where I was able to route out to a TV. It was kind of antiquated, but it worked. So, we used to have like Sound Choice, Sweet Georgia Brown, Top Hits. That was just an old way of doing things. Now, one of my good friends does karaoke pretty regularly at a casino out here in Illinois, and he swears by Carafun. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Carafun's versions of karaoke, so I've always purchased my songs, and I've always kept I have a really huge database of songs that I don't do any streaming, not because I don't trust it or not because I don't like it. I just, again, I'm old school. I've had it that way. The guy that I kind of purchased my karaoke library off of, back in the day, he was retiring, and I kind of took over his inventory, and everything was the same thing, like you said, Sweet Georgia Brown, the DKs, the Soundfly or Sunfly, and Sound Choice, and all of those. So I love those versions, and I know a lot of people that have been in the karaoke world, and as far as singers, enjoy using those versions. Like, they'll come in and they'll say a version before I even, sometimes I'll write it down, the whole CD number, though, DK15742, and I'm just like, oh wow, okay, you know what you're doing.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I'll still go to a karaoke show, and if I see they're running Carafun, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, they're not going to have the version that I'm familiar with, but it gets the job done. It's again, you're still going out, you're having fun.
Right.
At least they have your song. I've been to
Right.
plenty of places where they won't even download your song for you, or they won't even get it, and that's annoying. But
Yeah, no, I get it. It's like Record Box or Serato. I mean, as long as the crowd's happy, nobody cares what you're playing on.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
do you bring any lighting out or anything special to enhance the guest experience?
We do sometimes. It depends on the bar. A lot of the bars that we do in downtown San Diego has their own lighting. So we have another branch that's about 2 hours away from San Diego, and they're kind of a smaller town, not small town, but just, the bars don't have the budget that they do in San Diego. And so we'll bring in like a gig bar or something like that to just to add a little bit of movement in the room versus them just dimming the lights and it's just stale in there.
So are you just using like QSCs for like your full range speakers, or anything special that you're using for sound?
Yeah, so I give each one of my hosts a column speaker. Right now, we love the QSC K columns. QSC, I helped beta for them, and I got to try out the speakers before anybody else did and test them out. And the fact that we do so many shows in so many different locations, just said that we would be perfect to kind of test out their speakers and just give them the feedback that we experience. So I loved them personally, and as soon as I got my hands on one and they released them, I was like, give me some more, and I just started passing them out. And my hosts love them, I love them. They look great, they sound great. We don't get a ton of feedback. Somebody can sing on the microphone and walk right past the speaker and not have to worry about the screeching that you would get with some of the other speakers that we've used in the past.
No, I agree with you. I own a pair of EV 50s. Yep. And I actually had a father of the bride walk right next to it, and I was about to mute him, and I got no feedback whatsoever. So, kudos to the column array people, because it's been helpful. So let's kind of move it along right now. Let me see. What's like your secret to keeping the rotation smooth when like 20 people want to sing at once? Like, how do you manage that?
Good question. This is something we struggle with. We've struggled with over the past, obviously, because we get so busy. We get 2 hour waits to where, and this sometimes it'll be a 2 hour wait from the minute we start. Like we'll open the sign up list, and within 10 minutes we have a 2 hour wait. And so you get somebody that just turned in a slip and they're first, and then 10 minutes later somebody's turning in a slip and they're not up for 2 hours. And we try to tell people right off the bat, look, we have a lot of singers. We're very transparent when it comes to showing them our song slips. This is another reason why I've experimented with the QR code signups and I love it. I'm a tech guy. I love the idea of it. I just don't love how you don't get to engage with your singers. Like, I like to be able to read their body language, tell them right off the bat, like, hey, just to let you know, we had like 15 people walk up right before you. So if you calculate that 5 minutes per song, like, you get a kind of an idea that it's going to be a little bit. And they go, okay, some people are like, oh no, like, that's not acceptable. And you can kind of work with them a little bit, be like, hey, I'm sorry, we can get you a drink, like, we have certain arrangements with the bars if you get people that are impatient. But of course, we try to just tell people, like, look, this is karaoke. It's just like the DMV. You get a number, you got to wait in line. Like, it's just a lot funner than being a DMV. So, just enjoy that you're not sitting in, with a bunch of people waiting to be called up. You're getting to have fun and watch other people, get some entertainment, have some drinks.
Sure.
But for me, a lot of it is reading body language. Like I said, we like to have the slips because we like that interaction. We can tell if somebody's a little too intoxicated when they come up and turn in a slip, which you can't really do when they're filling out a QR code and just signing up. You don't know who that is. You're calling out the name.
Yeah.
Are they hammered? Are they angry? Are they going to say something inappropriate on the microphone? You can get a lot just from that little interaction with somebody handing you a slip and being like, oh, great. How's your night tonight? Cool. Okay. You'll be up in here in just a little bit.
Yeah. And plus, like, with the QR code, it could just be like some random person just signing his friend up that doesn't want to sing. And it just kind of ruins the moment for everybody too. So I get that.
It does. And the first time I tried it, we had people signing up before we even started the show. Like, people were signing up on their way there, like, just because they had been to our show, they saw the QR code. So they'd be like, hey, I'll be there in 2 hours. I already signed up for a song. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
That's kind of clever on their part, though. You got to give them credit.
Yeah.
So like, let's talk a little bit about like your hosting style and your crowd interaction, since we're kind of segueing into that portion anyway. So, how do you handle like the first singer moment when everyone's still shy, right? So it's somebody who wants to sing, just never done it before. Like, what are some words of encouragement, or what do you do to kind of help them along so they feel comfortable first time karaokeing?
So I've always told my hosts, and we say this in our training and all of that, is you're going to be this. Your job as the host is also to be a cheerleader. You want to cheer people on. You want to encourage them to sing. If this is their first time singing, like, if they're open about it, like, oh my gosh, like, this is my first time, like, then get the crowd involved. Hey guys, this is their first time singing. Like, we really need to cheer them on. Let's go. We know you got this, and that kind of thing. If they're shy and, hey, I don't want people to know this is our first song, then you just tell, okay, crush it. I'm right here if you need me. If you need some help, let me know. If it's a song I know, then I'll jump in, that kind of thing. And we don't really get that too much. I mean, I feel like most people, especially after a few drinks, they'll get up there. Yeah, they'll start off a little shaky, but then everybody's super positive at our shows. I don't know. We're pretty lucky. We don't get a lot of hecklers or people like, and the rare times that we have, we don't stand for that either. Like, we'll make sure we shut that down pretty quick.
I was just about to ask you, like, how do you handle like the occasional drunk singer or heckler? I'm
6'2", 225 pounds. So people, when I give them the look, they pretty much shut up.
You give them the rock eyebrow.
Yeah, they know when I get that, like, okay, let's calm it down a bit. I'm like, we don't do that here, and okay, I'm sorry.
Got it. So aside from, so we're talking about bars that are packed, 2-hour wait lines, and so this next question is for, like, I guess the bars that don't have that type of interaction, right? Where it might be just a smaller bar and just occasional singers. So like what's your go-to method for reading the crowd and knowing when to like drop in like DJ filler music between singers?
I mean, slower, that's kind of my Achilles heel, is I slower bars. I'm just like, ugh, like, it's a lot more work. I love when it's busy, when it's, when we have that wait and you're just tearing through songs. When it's slower, we're very interactive. We'll go up to tables, we'll ask. A lot of times I negotiate a bar tab
Okay.
into our payment. So, I'll go, hey guys, first singer gets, drink on me. And,
Sure.
we'll go up, talk to a group of, who's our singer at this table, like, okay. And then they'll all point at someone, and then you kind of
Right.
know who to, and we do it without being pushy. We're never like trying to force it upon them or anything
Right.
like that. But it's a great way to get it started, to get people loosened up, get them singing, encourage them to sing. That way they don't feel like, they feel like they're wanted versus,
Right.
oh man,
Right.
I'm just going to get up here and make a fool of myself.
No, I get that. Yeah, I was gonna say like tricks, contests, giveaways, theme nights. Anything to keep things fun and fresh and engaging is always a go-to for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what's one rookie mistake new karaoke? My God, I can't even talk right now. What is one rookie mistake new karaoke hosts often make that kills the energy like fast at a bar?
Hmm. Forgetting to plug in your laptop power is one of them.
Okay.
I've had that happen before where I'm just like,
Just
I'm like, oh
halfway through
man,
the laptop dies and
what a
wow.
rookie mistake. All
Yeah,
of a
it
sudden
is. It
your
is.
screen powers down. And I mean, that's only happened like once, maybe twice over the 20 years.
Okay.
So,
That's a
but
good
hey,
track record.
I'm gonna say, it's not beyond me. I've done it where you're in a hurry and you're setting everything up and you just forget to plug in that power cord. Um, no, rookie mistakes. Hmm. I don't know. That's a good one. I
Oh,
would
we can
have
always
to
come back to it.
Yeah, I would have to think on that one a little bit more because I'm trying to. I mean, I know there's plenty of them, but there's just I can't. I'm drawing a blank right now.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'll name one myself. I mean, I dropped the wrong song for a singer once, and they looked at me
Mhm.
crazy, like that's not my song. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it kind of killed the energy at that moment. But that was one of my rookie mistakes. So
I guess for us too, things I wouldn't say it's a really rookie mistake, but like people dropping the microphone will really kill the vibe because obviously it gets us upset. We have to make an announcement like, hey, look, don't do that. That's not cool. This
right,
is not something we do at our show, and it's not something we like to do over the mic, but it's kind of important so that it doesn't become a trend.
right. Yeah, it's an expensive trend too. On top of
It
it.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't give them wireless, as I imagine. It's all like SM58s or something even cheaper than that, right? For your karaoke.
No, we do wireless. We've always
Oh,
done wireless.
okay,
So back in the day, I used to do all Voco Pro,
okay,
and those were pretty. Like they weren't super expensive, but you're talking, $400 or $500 for a 4 pack of microphones, and then somebody drops one. They're plastic. They have a plastic base, so they wouldn't last very many drops, one or two drops, and then you're down to 3 microphones. And then somebody drops that one, you're down to 2 microphones.
right,
And it can get pretty expensive if I never figured out really how to replace microphones. I would just have to buy a whole new set.
right.
And so, but now we get a 4 pack off of Amazon, and I think they're Phoenix or something like that.
Phoenix
And
Pros. Yeah.
yeah, the Phoenix Pros, and I love those mics.
You're not
Like,
the only person that said that to me. There's a lot of my friends here in Chicagoland area that they swear by them, that they actually sound even better than Shure mics, which I have yet to do an A/B comparison. But I mean, a lot of my friends are audiophiles, and they say, listen, you're spending $1,000 on one mic. We're getting a dual pack for even cheaper than that. It's like, oh, okay.
I've started to use mine at corporate events. I mean, obviously, I have a backup, sure, like that I keep with me, but
Mhm.
I never have to use it. Like I swear by these things, like they do, and they have great range. The new ones that I just got now, because I've been testing out microphones since they started, since they started coming out. Like these wireless ones, like cheaper, but they feel heavy. They have a great digital display. They can take a beating for
Right.
sure, way more than the Vocal Pros used to. And yeah, I just the new ones now you can actually change frequencies, which the old ones you couldn't. That
Right.
was a little bit of a pain,
Yeah.
but these ones now you can, and yeah, I swear by them.
Okay. Good. Well, hey, listen, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first from Chad Blackburn endorses Phoenix Pro,
Yeah, the 4-pack. I love it.
the 4-pack. So, can karaoke be profitable as a single op or multi-op?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I haven't worked, like I said, I haven't worked for somebody else in 20 years. This has been my only job. And this has been something that, like, I started out just me. When I moved to San Diego, I started pounding the pavement. And I was like, man, if I can get 3 or 4 shows, I'll be making what I was making at my 9 to 5, and I won't have to go look for a 9 to 5.
Right.
And one thing led to another, and I had 3 shows, and then 4 shows, and then 5 shows, and then I was working 6 nights a week. And I'm like, okay, I have other people or other bars wanting our service, and I can't be there because I'm already committed. So that's when I hired on my first employee and sent him over across the street to host at that spot. And we were both busy, so the bars didn't mind. They're like, at first they were a little iffy about, okay, we have you guys over here and then we have you across the street, but everyone was getting their piece of the pie, so they were happy. And then we just exploded to now we're doing 40 shows a week. And
That's pretty impressive.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, we have 40 shows a week, 20 hosts. We're always hiring. We're always, getting more shows. And I say 40 because we may have a little bit more, we may have a little bit less. I mean, we kind of 40 is kind of our middle ground. We'll get 5 new bars, and then we'll, 2 or 3 of them will either shut down or change ownership or this or that, and we'll have to go. So I always just kind of say 40, but we don't really go below 35, and we haven't really hit 50 yet. So that's a good that's a good
Well,
spot for us.
that's your next benchmark, Chad. 50.
That is, yeah.
So, how can DJs turn karaoke into a consistent income stream? Like, what are some of the things that you've done? Was it like doing Facebook events, flyers, signage? I mean, what did you do to build up your brand aside from just walking in and doing grassroots marketing?
I mean, we've done it all. We've done everything from flyers back, it just kind of evolved. It was me pounding I haven't pounded the pavement in probably 12 years, as far as going door to door. I haven't seeked out a bar in probably that long, 12 years or so. Like, we've just built our branding up to where now if somebody mentions karaoke, they're like, oh, call Almost Famous, like, reach out to Chad, or reach out to Veronica, or reach out to Nick, like they do karaoke. And again, I've never really tried to tie it to me. I never wanted to be Chad Blackburn's karaoke. It's Almost Famous, and we're a family, we're a team, and we just kind of all help spread the word. And I feel like each one of our hosts has a group of friends, and those group of friends know, and just word of mouth has been great for us over the years.
Okay.
And we're really blessed to, have that image. When you think of karaoke, you think of the Almost Famous brand, at least over here in our area.
Well, that's great. If a DJ wants to pitch karaoke to a venue, like, how should they lead with?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, back in the day, the way I used to pitch it, I mean, well, again, the other, besides doing the videos and the reading the crowd, and you get a hybrid, you're basically getting a DJ / karaoke host in one. And that's always a good way to pitch it is, hey, you're getting 2 for the price of 1. You're getting a DJ and a karaoke host, because guess what? If nobody's singing, we're playing music, we're reading the crowd, that kind of thing. So that's a good pitch, because most bars are paying, if it's a weekend or something like that, $400 or $500 for a DJ, at least in our area, maybe a little bit more. So when you tell them, we do everything, like, we don't really go below 275. I know that sounds cheap, especially this day and age, but like 275, we pay our hosts, to go in. We make sure our hosts are taken care of. They always get a tip jar. They get a front of the line pass to offer to people, which has also been one of our little secret sauces. So the host makes money off their tips, plus they get their hourly, and then the company makes some money on top of it. but for 275 to fill, a few hours of the bar's time, like it's not a hard sale, like sales pitch.
Mhm.
It kind of makes sense.
Got it. Got it. If you had to sum it up, like, what's your number one rule for mastering karaoke?
Number one rule, yeah, I guess just learn like you got to read the room, read your regulars, like get that good solid foundation,
Sure.
like know who your regulars are, treat them right, know their expectations, make sure they don't come off too much of a diva. Like, you still got to be able to run the room,
Mhm.
and not let them, this is your show, not their show. When they're on stage and they have the microphone, it's their show, but for the rest of the time, this is our show. So yeah, just basically get that get that crowd, get that group of regulars that are going to have your back and are going to support you and are going to talk good about you when you're not in the room.
Okay. Well, that's actually great advice. So I want to talk a little bit about like beginner karaoke DJ Q&A. This is more for like new DJs entering the karaoke world. Okay. So I wrote down a few questions here. So I'm going to be looking at my monitor. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is not prepared. Chad has no idea what I'm going to ask him. Because what we try to do here at USDJ is be very authentic and transparent with our members and our viewers. So this is going to be very rapid fire, Chad, if you're
All
down
right.
with it. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So what is your bare minimum setup for let me rephrase that. What's the bare minimum setup a DJ needs to host karaoke successfully?
Bare minimum, microphones, mixer, laptop, hard drives,
Okay.
and power strip, and
Okay.
a speaker. Like,
Okay.
that's pretty much bare minimum. We roll around with, so when I build a system, I pack everything into a carry-on suitcase. I have a carry-on suitcase and a backpack. Is I can roll in, if I'm not bringing a speaker, I can roll in with my backpack and a carry-on suitcase, and I'm ready to go. I've done events across, all the way in New York, across the United States, where literally that's all I brought is a carry-on and my backpack. And I say, hey, as long as you guys have speakers, I have everything I need right
Oh,
here.
that's cool. That's cool. Wow, you really travel light, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Aside from virtual DJ, and by the way, I use that too when I host karaoke. It just seems very fluid, and I like the fact that you could actually name like the singers who's going to sing next, and you're looking at keys and everything, right?
Yep.
And you can set them up in order that they come in, or you can kind of manipulate the list a little. If let's just say John, he came up, and then two singers later he wants to come up again, and then he's constantly coming up, right? So you could manipulate the list a little bit in virtual DJ. Not so much in Serato. I guess you can do it maybe if you add like a comment section next to the song. But I just found it a little bit easier in virtual DJ. But aside from virtual DJ, is there any other karaoke software that you recommend that's affordable but reliable?
Yeah, Karma is a great program. Their customer service is a little rough, and I've dealt with that over the years. The owner, he has a Q&A section on the website, and if you try to ask him a question and it's on the Q&A, like, you better be prepared to get a lecture
Oh,
from
boy.
him for not checking the website. Yeah, and I've used Karma for years. I still do, and that's all I've read all over the internet is, hey, it's a great program, but the owner's a bit of an a-hole. So yeah, I love Karma. It's cheap. I think it's
Okay.
$99 for a license, and that's like a lifetime license. And they have a
Okay.
bunch of, they have their own songbook maker on there. They have a virtual requests. If that's what you want to do with the QR code, you can all do it through Karma. They have a
Okay.
lot of plugins, and yeah, I've always enjoyed it.
Okay. Where do you get your karaoke songs legally, and how do you keep your library updated frequently?
Yeah, so I like and I don't know if you know about this, and I haven't ran across a lot of people that do know about it, but there's a website called iCrunes, karaokeband.com, and that is kind of a search engine for karaoke tracks.
Okay.
So you type in the song you want, and it'll search and give you a list of all of the like karaoke version, all of those different software or different websites that sell the karaoke legally. And so I'll just pop on there, put in the song, and I can do it while somebody's singing. So that's always been our thing too, is even back in the day, I would always throw on a jetpack, or I'd have a jetpack if we didn't have internet at the bar or something like
Okay.
that. And I would always go get the song and download it if somebody was there wanting that song and I didn't have it. We always got it for them.
That's interesting, because that was actually going to be my next question. Like, how do you handle a request for a song you don't have? So that's good that you have that contingency going.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. I hate when I'm out of town and I go to a karaoke spot and I ask for a song, especially one that's not that hard to find, and they go, "Oh, I don't have that." I'm like, "Well, get it." Like
Right,
it's
right.
not that hard. I mean, I do it with a 2 hour wait. I can still, you have 4 minutes. When somebody starts singing a song, you have 4 minutes to minimize, go online, search in the song, pay $1.99, download, boom, there it is, drag it and drop it, and you're good to go. So I've always done that, and that's always been another staple of mine, where people have been like, "Oh, let's go to Chad shows, or let's go to Almost Famous shows," because we know they're going to have the song.
What about like the singers who request a specific version from a specific karaoke manufacturer?
I usually tell them if it's out there, I'll get it for them. It doesn't happen very often. I mean, if I was spending, a couple $100 a month, finding people's specific versions, and I probably wouldn't offer it, because it just wouldn't make sense. But
Right.
it rarely happens. If somebody goes, "Hey, I have this song and I only do this version," I'm not against going and getting it. And
Okay.
even if I mean, yeah, it's never been an issue where I felt like I couldn't do it.
Right, right. Because the only reason why I ask, because there have been times where I've had some pretty professional karaoke singers, and they would only sing, let's just say Sound Choice, or they'll sing Sweet Georgia Brown because they only know that particular version, and they sound better with that one. So,
Mhm.
I can't tell you. I've got like 10 different versions of the same song on my hard drive, and it's always different manufacturers. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, kind of moving along, like you might have touched on this earlier, but how do you get people to actually sign up and participate instead of just watching?
Again, it's more just I always pitch the bar, "Hey, you guys, if you need some liquid courage, get over there, see our bartenders. They got plenty of it back there. Come talk to me if you're feeling nervous. We'll give them a little pep talk, or like I said, offer them a drink if it, we don't we don't run into that a lot. Usually if someone wants to sing, we don't push it on them, or if they don't want to sing, we just kind of give them their space. And eventually, if they really want to sing bad enough, they'll come up and do it. And then we'll just cheer them on.
Oh, that's great. That's great. God, I've got like 24 questions to ask you, but I'm only going to ask you just a few more.
Oh, keep them coming.
Yeah. What's your advice on branding? Like, should a DJ market themselves as a karaoke host too, or just keep it one or the other?
To be honest with you, karaoke has opened so many doors for me. I mean, even stuff that we're not even doing karaoke anymore. Like I did an event that was karaoke, and again, we went in there, nobody wanted to sing. It just wasn't the right vibe for karaoke. Nobody, like, they just wanted to dance. If
Okay.
somebody's saying karaoke, everyone kind of, and I was like, okay, this isn't really their vibe, So I kept playing. Obviously, I was hired to do karaoke, so if there was a karaoke song, we did the karaoke. But the next year, we got a call back, and they're just like, "Hey, we took a vote, and everybody really enjoyed, the music. They don't really want to do karaoke this year. Can we have you back as a DJ?" All right, boom. And now I've been working with them for multiple years, doing the DJ stuff. And
Mhm.
So karaoke, it just sometimes it just helps you get your foot in the door. I same thing with photo booth. We offer photo booths now too and stuff. And sometimes you just get that photo booth and then you get there and you talk to the right person. And you're just like, hey, you know what this party's missing? Some jams, some tunes. Like what do you say next time we bring the we bring the DJ booth and then the photo booth and we play a little music for you guys and get your foot in the door that way too. But karaoke's been the best for us because again, you could always market as a hybrid thing. Like, hey,
Okay.
I know you guys like karaoke, but if you're worried about people not singing, you're getting a DJ as well. We're gonna play songs. People are gonna have a good time. It's not gonna be dead air. We can play requests if you want to hear requests, or we can just read the room.
Yeah, it's really the best of both worlds if you think about it. There's nothing to be lost, only to be had, because they're really getting 2 for 1 if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the best way to balance fun and professionalism when hosting karaoke? Because obviously, you want your host to have fun and be energetic, exciting, and just kind of be a cheerleader for the guests, right? For the patrons. But we also have to manage Almost Famous's reputation, right? So how can you balance fun and professionalism all the while hosting?
For sure. I mean, well, so our hosts, pretty much all of them love to sing. So we always tell people, like either we'll hire people that are our regulars, we'll hire within that kind of thing. But one of the first things we tell them is, hey, you're here to host, but you're also here to have a good time. So you can sing, and we encourage you to sing. Obviously, we don't want you to be a mic hog or anything like that, but throw yourself in the rotation every once in a while. So we're very professional as far as not drinking on the job, like not eating behind the booth, but also we like to perform as well. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we have some pretty talented people on our team, and some people will come out just to hear us do songs. Like myself and one of my managers, we do Belle from Beauty and the Beast, where she does Belle and I do Gaston. And I can't tell you how many times when she comes out, people want to hear us do that song. Like they don't care. They're just like, "Can you guys please do that song?" And we'll do that song. I have another guy downtown. Whenever I come out, he's like, "Oh my gosh, you do this one song. It's my favorite song you do. Can you sing it for us?" So you're having fun, you're singing, but you're also making sure everybody else gets their moment in the spotlight too. So that's kind of that balance that we.
I think you're the only one that can pull off a guest on singing, really.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do is do that duet.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool when you can do a duet and you're engaging the crowd. We actually used to have this one karaoke guy in Chicago where the crowd always wanted him to sing, but he would say, "Hey, if the bartenders can get like, the next, if they can make like an extra 20, $30 this next hour, if they hit the bell, I'll sing." So it kind of offers encouragement, to the bar staff as well. Is that something that you promote actively in San Diego, or is that just like a one-off here in Chicago?
No, so I've never been one to push anything. Like I don't ask for tips. I don't, I'll say tip the bartenders. Yeah, I will do that, but it's I don't like to make, I don't know. There's just a part of me like I don't like pushing tips and stuff like that
Right.
on whether it's for me or whether it's for the bar. I will encourage people to, get some liquidated courage, hey, we're here on behalf of the bar, but I don't go too deep into it. I just, something about it feels a little dirty to me. And, and no offense to the guys that do it. We're all there to make money. So it is what it is. But I've just, yeah, I don't know. I'll even get on my guys if I go out there and I hear them, I hear somebody saying, hey, don't forget to tip the DJ. I'm like, hey, don't say that.
Yeah.
Like,
That
let it
should
happen
just come
naturally.
from the guest naturally. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're doing a good job, I think people recognize your talent and your hard work, and they'll give you a couple dollars per song, if just out of courtesy. We get that a lot here in Chicago. So If you're nervous hosting karaoke for the first time, how do you get over that fear? Like your first time host, right? I mean, I know you train them personally, or you have your managers and your other veteran hosts train each other and cross train or whatever. But letting somebody go out for their first time, what are some of the things that you offer, like words of encouragement to help them get over, their nervousness hosting karaoke for their first time? What do you instill in that?
Well, there's really, I think no matter what, no matter how much practice or anything like that, you're still going to run across those people that have never done it before. They're going to be nervous. The best way we combat that is we send somebody out with them,
Okay.
like,
To shadow.
yeah, exactly. We'll do training pay plus, whoever's doing the hosting is getting full pay, and whoever's going as like either whether it's just support or something like that gets like training pay. And yeah, so we'll do that. I'll tell some of our team, hey guys, this is so and so's first night out hosting, like let's show her some support. I'll make sure at least one person will be there, but if we can get a few people to go out there, either I'll throw them a bar tab or something like that, like go out there, just have fun, sing a few songs, and then take off.
Got it. Where can people find you nowadays online?
Yeah, so our almost famous Instagram is where we do a lot of posting. We post, daily. We post our private events. We post our flyers, on there. We post, where we're going to be. So, sometimes like we encourage our hosts to grab clips from the night, so you can really get a good idea of what we're doing and see a lot of our show there. And that's almost _ famous _ entertainment.
Okay. I threw up Instagram's what I found online. That's you almost _ famous _ CA.
Is it still CA or is it? I think we changed it to
Oh, you
entertainment,
changed
but
it? Okay.
yeah.
So your website is pointing to _ CA.
Oh, is it? Shoot, we're gonna have to change that. Yeah, I try to go. I know we got new cards made, all of that stuff, and just because we were dealing with California, but then we just kept getting so many different so many different events out of town that I was like, we got to get rid of this CA thing. Like we're all over the place now.
You're all over.
We're hosting at the Marquee Show. I mean, come on.
That's funny. That's so like the name of my company is this is a shameless plug. It's called My Chicago Wedding DJ, right?
Uh-huh.
And I have a lot of clients reach out to me and be like, "Oh, the only DJ in Chicago. What about Naperville?" I'm like, "Well, I go out there too." Just the name of the company. But yeah, that's where you can find Chad Blackburn, almost famous SD.com. That's his website. And then from there, hopefully he'll have his Instagram handle updated on his website.
Yeah,
able to find that for you. And yeah, you definitely can reach out to Chad. I know Chad is very, very open and helpful. He's been a great, fill in for us at the Marquee Show. He's a great presenter, great host, great karaoke singer, and he really does it all. So,
Thank you.
Chad, is there anything that you want to end with?
No, just I enjoy going out to a lot of conferences. I'll probably be at Wedding MBA. If you see me out and about, just mention you saw me here, or mention wherever you ended up seeing me, and just we'll talk. We'll stop and chit chat and ask me any questions you want, and I'm a pretty open book.
Chad is very approachable. Yeah, everybody goes up to Chad, and we certainly appreciate Chad's help and expertise all the way around the board. We really do.
Well, thank you. And I don't get paid by any of the things. Phoenix doesn't pay me, Karma doesn't pay me, any of those. Those are just just stuff that I love. So take it as you will. And like I said, I'm an open book. I'll let you know what I recommend and what works for us.
Yeah, for sure. All right, DJs. Well, that wraps up episode 7 here at the USDJN podcast. And we just heard it all from Chad Blackburn, how to master karaoke. So yeah, Chad, huge thanks for, sharing your time, expertise, and your energy with us today. And, Chad, if you've been thinking about adding karaoke to your weekly rotation or building it into your business model, now would be the time to take a leap. I mean, you've heard it. Chad goes out 35, 40 times a week. That's just an unheard number here in Chicago. So, but yeah, if you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, leave us a review, and that really helps us grow the USDJN network. And yeah, outside of that, until next time, keep the music loud, the lights bright, and your passion stronger than ever. I'm Rob, reminding you, success starts with service. Thank you very much, Chad. You've been wonderful. I can't wait to see you next year at Marquee.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.